Great morning, Unity of Brooklyn. Great morning. Thank you, Tanya, and thank you to our team, our media team, and our readers. And thank you to each and every one of you who have come to join and be with us this morning in this celebration of life. Well, the title of the lesson this morning is Peace, Be Still. Peace, Be Still. And needless to say, this has been a rapid paced week, and much has occurred in this week. History has been formed on several fronts, and many are currently doing what some would call collecting or gathering or calling forth their thoughts. Spiritually, we may look at that as referring to sitting in meditation or prayer, just being peaceful and being still. So I want this morning to talk on some of the events that we have seen this week and just draw out the spiritual significance of those weeks and of this week and the lessons that we can learn from the events of the week and how we can apply those lessons to our life, to our daily living today. You know, we cannot just pretend that these things did not occur, but we look at them and look for this, the deeper meaning, the spiritual significance there, and then use that to better our lives. So, for several months, I would say, and most of you would agree, that the election runoff in Georgia captured the front and center attention of many, many people in America and people around the world. We're told that that particular event and what it held within it was the declaration of U.S. policy making for years to come. We're told that that was a very special election and it would hold true, it would make policy for years to come. So this week was a rapid paced week. So by Tuesday, the people of Georgia spoke their desire. And on Wednesday, the counts were completed, verifying two new senator elects representing the state of Georgia. This week, Georgians made history, and Georgians, amongst others, were and are elated. So on Wednesday, as usual, everyone gathered in the Capitol for the Electoral College to certify the votes that were coming in from across the country. This is a normal procedure that generally takes place after elections. And most of the time, most of us are not even consciously aware that this is taking place because it's just a normal procedure. And then a short distance away, a short distance down the road from the Capitol, a crowd had gathered and they were being encouraged to rebuke the event, just as the Pharisees and the Sadducees had encouraged the crowds to rebuke Jesus. And then a breach, an interruption occurred in the Capitol building. And I think we're all familiar with the events since then. Now, while we cannot ignore these catastrophic results, let us be mindful and let us be clear of the spiritual significance. And there are several. This morning, I want to talk about three spiritual significance that we can draw out of this experience this week. Well, as I said earlier, a short distance down the road, the crowd was being encouraged to rebuke the events, just as Jesus was rebuked by the Pharisees. And if we look at the scripture in Proverbs 18 and 21, the scripture reminds us that death and life are in the power of the tongue. and he or she that lives and loves it will eat from it. Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and she or he that loves it, loves what you might say. She or he that loves what they are saying. She or he that loves what they are saying will eat from its fruits. The words that we speak, my friend, have the power of life and death. And sometimes the stakes are high. I'm reminded of a fire that is built and left unchecked. A fire that's built and left unchecked. It has the ability to double in size in a short amount of time. Words that we speak can either speak life or they can speak death. Our words can either be utilized to build self and others, or they can be utilized to tear down self and others. We've seen this in the times of Jesus. We've witnessed it in history. Let's remain checked. Let us remain checked on how we speak to ourselves and to others. Have you ever spoken to yourself and said, oh, this knee, I just can't take this knee. This knee is just paining me. It's just troubling me. Oh, I don't know what's happening with this finger. Have you ever spoken to yourself in such negativity? Let us check the words we speak to ourselves and the words that we speak to others around us. Because words left unchecked have the ability to double in size and to be misrepresented. Remember that he or she loves the words they speak, will eventually eat its fruit. I want to tell you of a story of a mother who had invited two family members over to dinner. And so when everyone sat down to eat dinner at the table, the mother said to her 6-year-old, would you like to say the blessing? And the 6-year-old replied, no, because I don't know what to say. And so her mother said to her very calmly, very sweetly, honey, just say what you hear mommy say. And so the little girl bowed her head, and with all sincerity, with total sincerity, her blessing was repeating after her mother, Lord, why on earth did I invite these two people to dinner? We eat the fruit of the words we speak. Let us be mindful, become more mindful of the words we speak. Let's take a look at the spiritual significance, a second significance. I want you to image with me a pendulum that's swinging, and it swings from left to right, from right to left, back and forth, just as our thoughts and emotions can swing from positive to negative, from negative to positive. The positive feelings of glory and honor experienced by the people of Georgia in that wind, in a matter of hours, those thoughts and those feelings swung the other way into a negative, chaotic state, causing some their lives. And when we allow ourselves to take direction here, when we allow ourselves to take direction from what's happening outside, which may be lacking a true relationship with the indwelling Christ, chaos can consume our consciousness with deadly thoughts and actions. When we allow ourselves to take our guidance and direction from outside of ourselves, away from the indwelling Christ, chaos and confusion can consume our consciousness. And we will eat the fruit of those thoughts, those emotions, those words, those actions, and those reactions. When we take direction from outside of the indwelling Christ, we are literally giving our power away. Don't give your power away. Turn within for your guidance and direction. And stay centered in the spirit. Stay centered in the voice of God within. Stay centered in the guidance that we're getting from our higher power within. Peace, be still. When we look at today's scripture, Mark 4 and 35, Mark 4:35 through 41, and most of us know this story. It's the story of Jesus calming the sea. And the story tells us that Jesus and the disciples were in the boat together. And according to the scripture, Jesus was asleep in the stern. The stern is the back of the boat. So Jesus was asleep in the back of the boat, says the scriptural story. And the wind had gathered strength, causing the boat to toss and turn in the water. And so the disciples, feeling this fear, went and woke him up and asked him, "Don't you care that we are perishing? Don't you care about what's happening here? Don't you care? Wake up. Don't you care?" So Jesus woke up, and the scripture says he rebuked the wind and the sea by saying, "Peace, be still." I doubt he said, "Peace, be still." I can just image him saying, "Peace," with command, "Be still." And the wind ceased, and there was a calm. And then he turned to the disciples, according to the story, and he asked them why they were afraid. Don't they, after all of this time being with him, don't they have faith? Do you still not have faith, he said? And the disciples looked at one another, the story says, and said to each other, "Who is this? Who is he that even the wind and the sea obey him?" Who is he? Imagine they've been with him all this time. They're still asking the question, who is he? You see, our words, once again, have power. Our words are the result of our thoughts and our feelings, and we speak those thoughts and feelings into the outer, into the ethers, and they have power. They have power on our life, and they have power in the lives of others around us. What are the words that we're speaking? Think for a moment. What are the words that you're speaking into the issues and the experiences and the circumstances of your life? Are they words that are blessing the experiences that you're having? Or are they words that are condemning the experiences that you're having? Will the fruit of those words be sweet or bitter? Ask yourself, as I'm speaking to myself, as I'm speaking to my mind, as I'm speaking to my body, as I'm speaking to my life, as I'm speaking to my experiences, will the fruit of what I'm speaking be sweet or bitter? Because in due time, I will be eating that fruit. So let's take a look at the third spiritual significance that we can draw from this. Matthew 5 and 14 reminds us that we are the light of the world. In a town built on a hill, it cannot be hidden. Neither does a person light a lamp and put it under a bowl, the scripture says. What purpose would that be? Instead, they put it on a stand and it gives light to everyone and everything in the house. In the same way, the scripture says, let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven. Let your light shine before others, and your good deeds will be seen without us even saying or mentioning or talking about. The good deeds will be seen, knowing that those are deeds sent forth by the God within, and those deeds glorify the Father in heaven, the Mother in heaven. You know, sometimes in this life, we may be the only light that a person will see. We may be the only light that a person may see. And as Faith Rivera said earlier in one of the songs this morning, we are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the ones we've been waiting for. As Reverend Dr. Johnny Coleman would say, you are the magic, as she used to say. You are the magic. We're not looking outside of ourselves for direction, for guidance. We're it. We are the ones we've been waiting for. I want to share with you a poem that was given to me about maybe 20, 25 years ago. And I've kept this poem and it has made it has impacted my life in such a way. And I want to share it with you this morning. The author of the poem is anonymous, and so I'll share it with you. And it reads, you never know when someone can catch a dream from you. You never know when a little word or something you may do may open up the windows of a mind that seeks the light. The way we live may not matter at all, but then again, it might. And just in case it could be that another's life through you might possibly change for the better with a broader and brighter view. It seems it might be worth a try at pointing the way to what's right. Of course, it may not matter at all, but then again, it might. We may be the only light that a person may see at a particular time in their life. What are we projecting? What words are we speaking? Let us always be tuned in to the inner Christ, to the source, to the power, and be a light for those who cross our path. We know that what happened this week is the result of fear. It is fear-based. We know that as truth students. And that fear demonstrates itself as anger, as resentment, resulting in chaos in the lives of some. Let us shine a light. Let us shine our consciousness on this situation. Remember, my friends, that we are moving from one point in history to another. We are moving to one level of consciousness as the masses of people as one, from one level to a higher level. And so there is going to be some events that we go through. There has to be a crucifixion before a resurrection. And I'm not speaking about a crucifixion of people's lives. I'm speaking of crucifixion of thoughts and ideas and words and feelings. Some of that, most of that has to be crossed out in order to rise up on the mountain and come up out of the valley. So fear not, and be still, and be peace filled, and stop watching the media. And not allow our minds and our hearts to be worked up and worked over in the negativity of a few. Stay connected. Stay aligned with the Christ. And know that the power is in you and the power is you. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We make it happen. We bless these events of the week. And we see that the Spirit of God is leading and guiding. We bless the families of those who may be going at this point through turmoil. We bless the minds and the consciousness and the hearts of those who were engaged in the event. And we bless the people of Georgia who have spoken their piece. We bless them. They have said to the world that we've come to a point in consciousness that we're ready for change. And so change has taken place there. Let that same change, that same transformation be present and take place in our minds, in our hearts, and in the hearts of all people. We are the light. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the ambassadors of truth. And so as we move forward together as one in consciousness, be peace-filled. When we are at peace, we make wise decisions and choices. When we feel disengaged and chaotic in our mind, we make choices and decisions that do not represent wisdom. So let's bless one another, bless our country, bless our leaders, bless these events, and see the spiritual significance within them. Your words, my words, have power. And they can either lift or they can be spoken in the negative and create harm. We are mindful of our thoughts, of our words, of our feelings, of our emotions, our actions, and reactions. Be at peace, my brothers and sisters. No matter what's going on around us, be at peace with the one, in the one. God bless you. bless you. And so it is. Namaste. Take a deep breath and release it slowly.